said Jigger, stopping at a set of traffic lights and lobbing his pal another chunk of chocolate. Jigger gazed admiringly through the truck windscreen at the parade of pretty girls stepping smartly over the pedestrian crossing in front of him. "You've got a one-track mind, Bert," he grinned. "That's your trouble." Bert effortlessly intercepted the piece of Yorkie bar in mid-air. Then he stuck his nose out of the passenger window to take in a lungful of the aroma of a passing hamburger, this latter treat being gobbled by a schoolboy creeping like a snail unwillingly to school. "See what I'm saying?" Jigger added. "A one-track mind." He stuck his own head out of the driver's window to take in an uninterrupted eyeful of a pair of passing legs attached to a mini-skirted girl strutting along the opposite pavement. Ah, tidy pair of pins. He liked driving through the centre of Edinburgh early on warm spring days like this. Whatever the attractions to Jigger of sunny city mornings, it was the smell of hamburgers that really turned Bert on to the urban environment, at all times and in all weathers. You see, he had never had a hamburger, not even a tiny scrap of one. The fact was, as Bert had come to realise over the years, you just didn't come upon any dropped hamburger remnants lying about in the gutters where he came from. More's the pity. But that was one of the great disadvantages of living on a farm. No gutters. Still, maybe someday. A dribble of saliva dropped from his hoary whiskers as the smell of the schoolboy and his burger faded along the street. "You're disgusting, Bert," laughed Jigger. "A bloody glutton." Bert wagged his tail and gave Jigger a little panting smile. He didn't know what his master had just said, but it sounded nice and friendly, and that was all that mattered. Being a dog, Bert didn't really know many words at all, although everyone thought he did. "Clever wee bugger, that," they would smile, shaking their heads in amazement. "Knows every word you say." In reality, though, Bert only knew words like Bert, biscuits, Yorkie bars, and pedigree chum. For all that, people credited him with recognising complicated verbal compositions such as, "Going for a ride in the truck today, Bert?" But he didn't. He only perked up and looked happy on such occasions because, like all dogs of reasonable wit, he could read his master's mind. Extrasensory perceptionists don't need words to know when a jaunt with the boss is imminent. The traffic lights changed to green, and Jigger set the truck rolling again. Flashing a grin, he raised his baseball cap to a gaggle of giggling office girls scurrying up the steps from Waverley Station. "Good morning, ladies," he called out. "Have a nice day, eh? Yeah, and keep your hands on your halfpennies." The giggles, like the hamburger whiffs before them, receded along Princes Street as the truck picked up speed and headed out of town. Jigger had been making one of his regular deliveries of hay to the stables of the Edinburgh Police. With only a small troop of horses, this particular outlet generated what Jigger considered to be a ludicrously modest income for his hay. He could, and did, charge 3 times as much for the same stuff to the horse and pony types who now frequented, in ever-increasing numbers, his farmyard in their trendy 4x4 off-roaders. But it was an outlet in which Jigger placed considerable importance nonetheless. Not only did selling it to the police bestow a mark of unquestionable quality upon his hay, the very mark which rendered it possible for him to sock the aforementioned triple whack to the off-roader brigade, but it also provided him with an invaluable in with the chief constable. This stern and yeomanly Highlander took great pride in his small mounted division, and he always made it his policy to be at the stables on delivery mornings to inspect the hay with his super-sensitive police nostrils. Jigger McCloud's hand-picked bales of sweet, mould-free horse fodder never failed to meet with the chief's scowled approval. "Fine that, then, Mr. McCloud," he would boom cheerlessly. After